Well, y'all couldn't see it, but I could. Jordan had a little head bob going. Uh, Jordan had a little head bob going. I think this one he got excited when I brought this one to the table today. Welcome everybody. Welcome everyone back to another episode of High and Tight. Jason Burton joined with Jordan Jones, or joining me is Jordan Jones, and we are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is Selection Sunday night, March 23rd. It is now probably about 8:01, 8:02, and we're going to get some – it's going to be a big night, and we're going to get some selections, some acceptances out there. But before we get going, let's get ready for another episode of High and Tight.
Okay, let's do this thing.
Again, welcome everybody back. I know it's not our typical or what is supposed to be our typical Sunday night, but that episode where we talk about high school baseball, scout blogs, players, all that stuff we saw in the past week, as well as a Power 25 update. Jordan and I are planning to run that either Monday night or Tuesday at some point, but we'll get that stuff out as soon as possible. But this is kind of pretty big importance, Jordan. With the entire year, everything culminating up to state games or to future games. To future games and East Coast Super Sophomore and junior future games and senior future games. All of those national level events. What are your thoughts as we kind of, again, I know it's only March, but as we prepare for the summer, as we prepare for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the new recruiting rule, it makes this event even bigger than it has been in the past few years. Like getting a lot more top higher ranked players, things like that. So I just think it makes the pool overall better for not only Virginia, but the whole country as well, where everyone goes down and get to play in the best recruiting event in the United States. So I mean, you get to go out there, get your chance to showcase your talent, your skills in front of pretty much any college coach that you can think of. So I just think heading to that gives us a big pool to choose from with a lot of talent from all over the state. I'm just really excited to get that going this summer. And represent Team Virginia well down there.
Yeah, we try to get people to kind of understand the significance or importance, if you will, of this of the future games and all that stuff. And you really can't You really can't understand it until you're there. I think Jordan can attest to that. I know I can attest to that. Every single year, we hear from – I've not heard one single thing from one parent or one player that's like, oh, it was okay. It is the premier event in the country as far as for uncommitted players, recruiting, whatever. There is no other event like it. And if you don't believe me, just listen to these guys.
As you walk into Lake Point, they have a sign that says nobody on the baseball field's a bad player, and being down here in this tournament pretty much represents that. I had never been to Lake Point before. Just kind of getting to walk around and look at the fields and the facilities, and obviously seeing all the coaches and opportunities that are here.
It's been a really good experience getting to play at this beautiful complex in front of all these coaches, facing top-tier arms all around the country.
The complex is amazing, having to face all these top-tier arms. Not every day you get to face 90 arms back-to-back.
It's really just a great experience playing out here in front of all these coaches, and it's a lot of kids just pray for this experience, so I just got to thank God for letting me be here.
Just being able to meet a bunch of new guys, a bunch of great players. So far it's been great. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of good people, a lot of new friends, form some lifelong bonds with.
It means a lot. Not many people get invited to this event.
It means a lot, man, because I was talking to my dad the other day. He was talking about the sacrifices to get here, and all these colleges, man, kids just pray to be in the situation I'm in right now. So just the fact that I even got the opportunity to play.
It really is an honor. I mean, a lot of people really look forward to just trying to get an invite, and then coming down here and performing with some of the best in the country is really a big privilege that a lot of people don't have. So it's really a great thing to see some hard work paying off, some early mornings pay off, some late nights pay off, and I'm just really happy to have the opportunity to be down here.
Again, it's just really hard to understate, or it's really hard to overstate. Sorry, it's really hard to overstate the significance of this event. You're talking 400 plus college coaches at one place, and again, like Jordan said, it is every school imaginable is there. Why? Because it is all uncommitted. You don't have to drive 3 hours all over God's creation, 3-4 hours to try to find one pitcher here, one pitcher there. Where are the pitchers? Well, they're at this field, this field, this field, this field. You just turn to your left and turn to your right. That's all you have to do. And that's why they're there, because it is the best players across the country. And, it's the marquee event of the summer, marquee event of the year. There is no comparison. So without further ado, how do you get there? Right? Like I went through that, I guess a week or so ago, we put some stuff out. I went through that. In order to be selected, it's essentially, if you want to call it tryouts, call it tryouts. But you get selected from the summer events in Virginia, D.C., 4-team Virginia, 4-team Mid-Atlantic for, like I say, a senior future games team, 4-team Virginia for East Coast Super Sophomore. So 29s, 28s, 27s, and I guess 26s for all of those events for senior future games. So all of those events this summer, your summer state games, your top prospect games, TPG2, we saw all those things running at the beginning with, their locations and dates and all that stuff. Those are the places you need to be. Those are the places you need to be if you're serious about playing college baseball. If you're serious about playing college baseball and, taking your chance to get to future games or whatever, that's where you need to be. You need to be at these summer events in order to make that happen. So, again, without further ado, without the rambling, let's get right into it here, Jordan. Our first guy that we're going to is Mason Mance from Turner Ashby High School.
Yeah, Mason is a JFG guy. So he's been in that experience before. East Coast Super Sophomore as well. But the guy just flat out hits, man. Doubles, power works, gap to gap, hit tool type of bat. He's versatile defensively. He can go behind the dish, manage the run game, and also go out and outfield and run down some baseballs out there. He's a football player as well, so he's just an overall athlete, high energy, high motor guy. So that's our first guy who will be accepted.
Yeah, and again, these are – I don't think I laid that out there well enough, so thank you, Jordan, for that. These are acceptances to and these are state games players right now. These are players who have requested invites to state games. We have over 100 requests in right now, and again, it is March 23rd. These invites will be going out or should be out now, so check email, check your spam, check wherever. Those will be going out. Understand that this state, especially with state games, it is pretty select in terms of receiving an invite. And it is capped by position. So especially catchers and middle infielders, make sure you kind of take care of your business and get that stuff locked in now. Because once those positions are full, they're full. Can't help you out. Can't do anything for you. The next one we're going to go to, our next acceptance is 2026, Thomas Jewett from Paul VI Catholic School in Northern Virginia. Compact frame, above average runner, can still impact the baseball. Again, it's not a smaller frame, but it is more compact. Middle infielder, and honestly, the kid just hits. He just produces. That's probably the biggest thing for me, is just that guys that just show up. Especially as the older you get, you can have all the tools in the world, but if they don't show up in game and they don't show up when the lights come on, it doesn't matter. And this is a guy who has some tools that show up in game, and he competes and wins at bats, plays defense, and helps teams win games. Jordan, next one we are going to is Brett Taylor.
Yeah, 2027 Brett Taylor from Northside High School. Super intriguing, some raw tools there. Has enough arms to stay on the left side. Switch hitter that flashes some power, especially from the left side. Get some nice loft, uphill barrel path there. Then he can also hop on the mound and be in the mid 80s. He was just up to 88 a few days ago when our staff was out to see him in Northside. But there's just some intriguing tools that can be really good when it comes all together down the road.
Yep. All right, my next one, I'm going to Loudoun Valley High School 2027 Cole Schaff. I hope I said that right, Cole. But left-handed hitter, and kind of like Cam said the other day, I saw his tweet or his video that he put out. I don't know if he tagged me, but I saw it, and it seems just like every time we go to see him in a game or Cam goes to see him in a game, the kid just hits. Like, it's good bat to ball skills. He has some feel for the barrel. He's a solid athlete. Sprays it around from line to line. He just produces. Again, just produces in game. It's not some, we're talking like super sexy 6'5" runner, 6'3", dropping 110 mile an hour exit velo. It's not necessarily about that. It's about the fact that, again, that he gets barrel to baseball. He hits in game. Doesn't matter really the arm that he's facing. He just always seems to produce. So that's 2027 Cole Schaff. Next one, Jordan. Jackson Bringer.
Yeah, had a chance to see Bringer early this winter, also in game earlier this spring. He's getting his feet wet on a talented St. John's team. He's an athletic infielder, probably second base long term, but he has foot speed, stick up the middle, hit tool type of bat with some line drive tendencies. They sprays to all fields, and also gets on making pitches a little bit as well, low to mid 80s. I just really like the versatility that he has, that he brings to the game. Can pick it a little bit. Just overall athlete that can find a way to impact the game in some sort of fashion.
And again, you're talking about, a player in a program that those are not like usually huge jump guys. Those are guys that are just kind of steadily brought along and just make continuous jumps. And he had some tools to start, which makes it like probably a little bit more intriguing, because there's a foundation there, and that development's going to continue to take place. Next one for me, 2026 Andrew Griffin from Great Bridge. Jordan, I know we talked about this one the other day. You went to see Great Bridge, and you came back and you were talking about Griffin. It's just something there. I can't necessarily, not in a bad way. I just can't put my finger on it. But like, the kid has some twitch. He has some athleticism. He's versatile. He can play a couple different positions. He hits in game. It's not some big power bat. It's line drives, gap to gap. And he just always seems to kind of make an impact on the game when we see him. Jordan, anything to add there?
Yeah, like with him, I think when I see him, it's always a calm presence. The moment doesn't get too big, and the kid just steps in the box, and he's going to, like you said, get the ball to barrel. He's going to compete, competitive at bats, aggressive. He's not passive whatsoever when he comes to the play. I just think that's definitely something that you like to see in a hitter, and he definitely brings that to that Great Bridge team.
Complete side note, we should probably do one on this, but you watch hitters enough, and it's good to like group at bats, right? Where you see, go get to see a doubleheader and get to see 5, 6, 7 at bats in a 2-game set, or you're going twice in 2 or 3 times in 2 weeks or whatever. Like, man, they just keep on seeing, their staff just keeps on going and seeing this player. Yeah, because like one game sometimes isn't enough, right? Like, a kid could just have a really good game or just a really bad game. And so you're trying to group some at-bats together. It's harder to spread at-bats out. And kind of where I'm going with that is you see hitters that are just passive, right? Like, passive hitters aren't hitters.
No.
They're just guys that are filling a positional need, right?
Yeah.
Like, or they're a defense first guy or whatever. Hitters hit. Hitters are aggressive. Hitters are looking to, attack baseballs out of the hand. Doesn't matter the count. Doesn't matter the pitch. And that doesn't always mean like that being overly aggressive and stuff like that swinging at pitches out of the zone. That doesn't mean like that's a good thing, right? But what we're saying is that guys who are super passive in at bats just don't tend to usually work out long term. I had a kid that played for me. He would get on the mound and he was an absolute dog, and just a big time competitor. And then he'd get in the box and he could hit it a mile and just had no intention of swinging. He was just passive. It was, what I would just term as like a no first guy, right? It's like no out of the hand, like no, yes. Every pitch should be yes out of the hand. I feel like that's what Griffin is.
Yeah.
Kind of to your long-winded point, or my long-winded point to your point. Two guys. I'm gonna double up here. We're gonna go to Cave Spring High School to two 2027s. Two that Grant got a chance to see this week at I think it was at Northside. Cave Spring and Northside, and that's 2027 Evan Lee, compact left-handed hitter. Again, just another guy who just seems to produce. There's intent there, kind of in everything he does, like almost like a high motor, quick twitch guy. There's some bat speed, some hand speed. Again, the kid can hit. There's some above average arm strength in the outfield, and just kind of that like full throttle type guy, if you will. And then another one, and this is video from that game, is 2027 Logan Meinster, or Meanster. Again, sorry, Logan. But he put a couple good swings. I think Grant said he had 3 hits in game on – what was that? What was that, Jordan? Was that Tuesday or Wednesday?
I think it was Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, I believe you're right. It was Tuesday. I think we have him as like a 7-3 runner, and Grant said like he thought it played a little bit faster in game. Looks like he got out of the box well. It's a good body, good physical makeup. So that is Logan Meanster. Sorry, Logan. 2027 from Cave Spring, and then 27 Evan Lee from Cave Spring. So two guys who have received their invite, will receive their invite. And if for any reason any of these people who we are accepting do not see their invite, just know that you have yours and reach out and we'll get you squared away. But that takes care of state games. We're going to move on. Our TPG invites are a little bit lower right now, just because usually that state games event is like is the capstone event of the summer in the state, if you will. I know that kind of starts the summer, but that is our baby. That has been huge. It's been 170 plus kids, tons of college coaches. But I don't want to downplay these TPG events because those were ridiculous last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Like not necessarily. Yeah, like they were really good in terms of number of players, but the talent was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back to that UR event, Chase Dorsey,
Blake LaMartina.
Yep, you had LaMartina there. You had Chase Dorsey. I mean, there were numerous guys. I mean, that was like a 100-player event. I think we had like 100 register, and we had like 85 show because, there's nothing crazier than the 10 days before an event with gameplay in the summer when you're making, play sheets and all that different stuff. And you have never seen backing out emails like you have, like we get a few days before an event. That's a whole different ballgame there. But that was like 100 kids registered for that event. And then we went to Liberty like a week or so later, and that was another 50 or 60. That was a loaded event as well. You had Oscar Hickey, Will Yao, Jack Woda, John Michael Sheff, Jackson Rosales, Manila Broman. Like the list goes on. I know I'm leaving some guys out. You had Sam Sheff there. Like, I mean, that was a ridiculous event.
That's a good list.
Yeah, it was a really, really good day. I think we had a few younger guys there as well.
Mm-hmm. Vanderpost, James Vanderpost.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought Vanderpost was there. I thought it was some younger guys there.
Austin was there, Ethan Foster?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he was there too.
Very positive. I know he was at a summer event. I just can't, you go through about, what do we go through? Probably about 1,500 or 2,000 players in about a 3-week span in June. So
Yeah.
a lot of that becomes brain mush. But our first guy that we are going to accept here is Chaz Walker. Jordan, what you got?
Yeah, just a physical athlete. Saw a couple of days ago, and he just checks the eye test. Filled out frame, athletic, can really go get it in the outfield. Some back speed there. That can do some damage to the pull side. But I mean, it's just a guy. You can see a high ceiling there with the physical traits, the defense that he has in the outfield. So definitely excited to get another look at him this summer.
Yeah, I'm going to go to 2028. I don't want to spoil any rankings this week, but this is a guy that could see himself. I kind of caught some stuff from somebody up there in Northern Virginia for this young man not being ranked in the 28 class, but we hadn't seen him. All right, we hadn't seen him. We had heard about him. Got a chance to see him this fall at Diamond Skills up at Georgetown Prep, and there's a lot to like about this guy. Danny Sullivan, 2028, St. John's College High School, low 3/4 slot, fastball has carry through the zone. I mean, and right here, he's just playing catch. You see him turn over that changeup right there. I think it's a pretty advanced changeup, those back-to-back changeups. I think it's a pretty advanced changeup for a 28. And I didn't look at it, but I want to say he's in the 6'4", 6'5" range. Jordan got a chance to see him kind of up close, and he didn't see him at Diamond Skills. But I would say one of the things that stands out about him is just super young features, even though he's a big kid. So super young facial features. I think this kid still has a ton of room to grow, maybe not up. Obviously he still very well may. But even if he doesn't grow anymore, you're talking large to XL frame, low 3/4 slot, has shown feel for 2 or 3 pitches. From my understanding in conversations with people around him and close to him, he is an extremely hard worker. That some of those older arms and some of those older players at St. John's have kind of got him on the right path, and he's kind of following in their footsteps, if you will. And I think this one has a potential to be special. And that is Danny Sullivan, 2028, St. John's College High School. Those are our 2 for TPG1. We have probably 20 or 30 requests in right now for that. I know that one will get much larger once these invites go out and all. And that is at Patriot Park North on June 25th, Jordan, I think June 25th. That's going to be awesome because I think we have 3 fields for that day. So you're going to have just the logistics like this, the brain, the operational side starts turning. You got guys warming up. You got we're going to roll on that day. It's going to be a ton of stuff that those guys will be able to get through. So I'm excited for an event at PPN. We've done tournaments and stuff, and we did Pro Case, but to get one of these events in there at PPN is going to be good. We're going to move to TPG2. This is July 2nd at Virginia Tech University, English Field, and beautiful setup, beautiful facility, and going to have some pretty solid players. The list right now is more focused probably from players out west, which makes sense. But I would imagine that list is going to grow when guys see that they have the opportunity to get on a Division I campus at an ACC school and kind of show what they can do. And it honestly, we talk about hey, the benefits of college camps and the benefits of our events. Well, guess what we're doing there? Everything's coming together.
Yes, sir.
Everything is together. You're able to get, with some coaches there who are, on site, on staff there, as well as what we offer on our end from kind of broadcasting those abilities out to more than just the people that are there. But our first invite acceptance is Cameron Fiesel. Sorry, Cam. We don't go with last names at Junior Future Games, and Cam had a really strong showing at Junior Future Games. So Jordan, take it away.
Yeah, he showed very well at Junior Future Games this past summer. And the kid just hits, man. He competes when he gets in the box, works gap to gap. There's some sneaky strength to the pull side as well. But the kid can go play the infield, go back behind the plate, and then go hop and mound and attack the zone, fill up the strike zone, and mix pitches. I really, really like this kid, and I just think there's more. He adds to that more talent out west that continues to grow and grow. So.
Yeah, no, and that was another one. If you look there, that was another one that was at TPG2 at Liberty. And I want to say I remember pretty distinctly, like he played infield. I think he might have played a little. We might have thrown him in the outfield for like an inning, might have needed an outfielder. And then he pitched as well. And just like, isn't like super tooled up, super physical, but like, he went to every single place and made an impact pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Like got up on the mound and threw strikes, handled the staff well, played a little bit of shortstop, made some plays defensively, got up at the plate, sprayed it around. Like he just does a little bit of everything well. Now is that Glenvar? Is that right?
Glenvar, yep. Mm-hmm.
So getting out in the southwest portion of the state. Now our next one that we are going to go with is another 28, and we're going to stay in Southwest Virginia. And this is Gibson Mitchell. Mitchell listed at 6'1", like seems longer than that. It's just a thinner frame, seems longer than that. Around 80, 81. We saw him at our first pitch scrimmages this year for Hidden Valley. They were at St. Chris, and Nolan saw him, and I think he was up to 80, 81. So longer projection arm, thin frame, will have room to grow into that. But again, another Southwest guy that is receiving their acceptance for their invite to TPG2 at Virginia Tech on July 2nd. Jordan, anything to add? We're setting records here. We are 28 minutes in. And we have rolled through this well, even with mindless rambling from myself. Anybody else? I know that's kind of, we've run through our video. Anybody else? I'm running through this list. Acceptance will be accepted. Will Camara for state games. Alex John accepted. Max Julian accepted. Landon McGinn accepted. Wyatt Parker, Mechanicsville High School infielder. Where do we know where he's playing right now? I know we've said what he's off or.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But either way, starting as a sophomore for Mechanicsville, playing well right now. So that's Wyatt Parker. That it will be accepted. That invite will be accepted. Davis Stedman, Norfolk Academy, accepted. Ben Weber, Centerville High School, accepted. Just kind of running through the list here of players who will be receiving their acceptances or who have already received their acceptances, I guess, by this point. Again, if I've named you and you didn't receive it, reach out to us to make sure we can get you straight. We go over to TPG up there in Northern Virginia. We have some guys who have requested to multiple events, but a few guys that have not. Isaac Norman from Trinity Christian School of Fairfax 2026 accepted. And we talked about Jewett for state games. Harrison Davis, Heritage High School 2028, 6'4", 190 pounds, big physical kid, accepted. And the list goes on and on. Now, I will say this again, for our state games event, it is capped. It is capped at a total number of players. It is also capped with positions. Okay. So with that event, and I can pull it up real quick. With that event, you're looking at a limit of 40 POs, 36 middle infielders, 24 third basemen, 45 outfielders, 27 catchers, and 15 first basemen. The plan is to have 12 teams like we did last year. We do not want oversized rosters, so that we make sure that everybody kind of gets their time in those positions that they register for. So we can't just have 100 middle infielders that only get to play one inning at shortstop. In addition to all of those events, we also have our junior state games. That is bananas. That is bananas. This has been out for a week. We are 30 registrations in, which is pretty close to the number that we had the second or third week of June last year. So with that being said, we have also capped our junior state games events. As of right now, we are going 6 teams with 20 POs, 28 infielders, 24 outfielders, 15 catchers, and 10 first basemen. If you are a middle infielder or if you are an infielder and you are planning on registering for state games, you need to do so sooner rather than later, because we have about 60-70% of those infield positions are gone. They are sold out. They are done. We are at 35% of the catchers are sold out for that event. So please make sure if you're going to register for that junior state games event, that has taken off much more aggressively than we thought, or that we anticipated. And so you need to make sure that you get that in now, get that registration or get that request in now, in order to make sure that you get a spot. Jordan, anything else to add before we wrap up here?
Yeah. Also, for guys, that we haven't seen, if you want to come to these events, please send video to us. Email, DM us on Twitter. You put a video out on Twitter, tag us. That definitely helps in the selection process. So if you want to be invited and you don't have anything on, you haven't been to an event or something like, please just send video. That definitely helps for us.
That's why Jordan is the man. Because I definitely didn't think about saying that, but that is, I don't want to say a requirement, but unless a coach calls us and is like, hey, you need to get this guy in or whatever, that is a requirement. People are probably like, oh, well, these guys came because they've come to an event. Well, yeah, because we've seen them. Like when I say that the state games event, like we keep that pretty tight in terms of talent. That's why we had like 30 college coaches there last year, because of the fact that the talent level was pretty good across the board. So we're not just approving anyone. All right. So if we have not seen you, if you have not come to an event and we have not seen you, you have to get us video. Jordan or I will not approve a request off of a player we have no idea about. It won't happen. It doesn't matter. Like if you send me the game changer stats that said you hit 500 last year, on JV or wherever, like we have to see video. It is very important. And if you have some metrics to back it up, that is great. But definitely video, especially for positional players, for hitters. We need to see some video of that. DM, email, however you want to get it to us, just make sure we get it. Because if you have not been to an event and we have not seen you, we will need to kind of vet that process. So without further ado, we appreciate everybody joining us for this Selection Sunday. Again, if we didn't say anything or whatever, it doesn't mean you did not receive an invite. It's just we couldn't go through all probably 200, 250 invites that we will send out kind of across the board. So we just kind of kept it a little bit tighter. And if you have any questions about the invite process or how to do it or how to register once you do receive that invite, please reach out to us and let us know, and we'll help you any way we can. But for Jordan Jones, I am Jason Burton, and we are signing off of another episode of High and Tight.